Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to everybody around the world. Welcome back to the One Piece video featuring your boy, Charlotte Katakuri. Get ready for a very spicy deck profile featuring OP08 here on the channel, let alone a very fun list for Egghead that I've come up with as of late for this build. Now, I put out an Egghead variation of Katakuri a little while ago. It did get received quite well. I had a lot of fun with it. I have made some changes to the deck since then. We're going to go over version 2 here, in which I've been having a lot of success with. With that being said, Katakuri in general, the deck lists typically look roughly the same outside of what we're doing here today. Most of the lists run around with the Gadatsus, the Kikinojos, the yada yada we've seen before. And in most cases, every deck that you generally see on my channel is, if it is a meta deck, it will have spice into it, such as Katakuri today. So we will be utilizing Please Save Me, Egghead Namis, and Egghead Luffy's, along with Jewelry Bonnies in today's video. I'm going to try my best and see what we can cook up. Now, with that being said, there are a lot of black decks in OP08 going into OP09 that are going to be utilizing cards such as Borsalino, which is the 4-cost blocker, and Sabo, which is the 5-cost blocker that cannot be popped due to effects, right? So we have cards such as these that are very difficult for Katakuri to get around. So I was trying to utilize a lot of different triggers, such as Egghead Luffy and Nami, on top of the other ones that we already have, to take care of these problems. And so far, it's doing quite well. Now, in some of these matchups, the blockers aren't really the issue, considering we play with our big top end, such as Big Mom, and she kind of solves a lot of problems for us just in herself. And we all kind of know this. If you are not a yellow player, you generally hate this card, but Big Mom in herself does do a lot of work. And the rest of our top end are going to consider with 7-cost Linlen and the 8-cost Katakuri. I am tempted on changing these ratios here and going up a Big Mom by taking out a 2K counter and Flampe, just to make sure we have 3 of these in the deck. But so far, this is doing okay. Now, Katakuri is that wild card when it comes to our top end here. I typically only run this just because Jewelry Bonnie exists, and a cost kid is a problem for a lot of people. Not all of the time, but we can just remove it, put it in the bottom of life, and go about our day. Most of the time, Big Mom just goes 12 into it, and see ya. But Katakuri is still pretty relevant here. He does help out in a lot of matchups. With that being said, some of our early to mid game cards are going to be with your Kikinojos here. This is going to be a mandatory 3 to 4 copies in each variation of Katakuri that you guys can come up with. This card is very strong in today's metagame, especially considering a lot of the decks are going to be black decks that you're going to be playing against, whether it's Rob Lucci or Smoker. Both of these decks are going to be everywhere. Going into OP09, Blackbeard's going to be a thing here as well. So heavy removal. Kikinojo is going to be really good into those matchups. Not only does she heal you, but she's a 6k body with 1 Dawn attached, swinging for 7ks. She's hitting those magic numbers, and she's doing the thing. Now, a lot of cards here may be a little bit common for Katakuri, but there are some, such as a lot of the Egghead pieces here you don't see in a lot of lists, but you also don't see Hiyori here. This is just one of my favorite 2k counters. This is in every one of my yellow decks, and I feel like in Katakuri, she also can make an impact here. Being able to put the 0-cost in your life and then move it with your leader ability to the bottom is very strong. This way you're able to set up your your final life in the end game, and a lot of people can't really, they have no response unless you're playing against another yellow deck such as Katakuri or Charlotte Pudding, who can just drop the Big Moms to burn this. You will always have this effect in your life by putting it in there yourself or lucky rotation with your leader ability. On top of that, with some of the other cards here, such as Jewelry Bonnie, which we didn't speak of just yet, she has the ability to draw 2, discard 1 when she is triggered. Her on-play ability, her on-field ability, if you attach 1 Dawn to it, if you deal any damage to your opponent whatsoever, if they lose a life by any means, you can draw 2, trash 1. She doesn't have to attack at all. So, with that being said, if you're able to get this down in the early game, your opponent doesn't have a way to remove it, and you're able to play down 10-cost Mom or 7-cost Mom, and they decide to rip a life instead of healing you, you also get to draw 2, which is really good. If not, if you attack with Katakuri or any of your other characters on board and the attack goes through, you get to draw 2, trash 1 with Jewelry Bonnie, which is really, really strong. Filtering is sometimes the name of the game in most cases. And when you're running a deck that has a lot of cards with no counter, such as like the Pawseplayers, the Big Moms, the Kikinojos, the Big Moms, the Katakuris, and many more that Katakuri typically has in his variations, being able to filter out cards with Jewelry Bonnie or Shirahoshi, if you guys are running her, you can do, vice versa. Both of these cards are really, really strong when it comes to that. Now, speaking of Shirahoshi, the 2 costs did not make it into this list. Typically, this is in every one of my Katakuri builds. I very much like this card, especially going into today's metagame. Like I mentioned, all black decks are pretty much everywhere, outside of the blue deck with Doflamingo. This allowing you to heal if you have Kikinojos on board, plus Shirahoshis. That's pretty good going into the late game. But you can make room for it. Of course, you can toss out away the Brules if you want to add in 2 Shirahoshis. There's numerous different ways that you can splash other cards into this list. And we'll get into that at the end of the video as well on my, final tweaks and edits to the variations here. But currently, this is what we're going to dive into for today's video. And of course, this wouldn't be an Egghead variation without this event. This event is a very, very solid card, especially in Katakuri. This allows you to play a 5-cost character or less that's Egghead variation from your trash to your field. So if your opponent does have those blockers on board and you need a way to remove them, you have the Nami here to get back from the trash and pop it, and then draw a card if you have 3 or less in hand, which is really, really cool. The Luffy allows you to remove those problematic blockers from Jewelry Bonnie matchups, and we're talking about like Uroj and all that jazz in the early game. And or the late game, if you have to get rid of this or the Rosinante blocker, Luffy has you covered in that regard. But overall, we are going to dive into a bunch of games today. Hope you guys are ready for this one. Let's get at it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We're going to dive into a bunch of games today. Come at you guys with Katakuri playing into Jewelry Bonnie. I do hope you guys are excited for this one. I know Katakuri, yellow decks aren't everybody's cup of tea and or favorite, but hey, each their own. I'm not trying to suffocate you guys with top of the line meta decks such as Rob Lucci and all that sort of thing. I try to play things that I also enjoy, let alone has a little bit of a spicy variations to them. But before we get into today's matchups, I do want to say thank you guys for tuning into my last video, for showing some love and support to the channel here. Because as you know, I have been a little bit sick as of late. So on top of that, we had Thanksgiving. You guys had Thanksgiving. You got to sit down and do the whole family thing and have a good time. At least I hope so. So now that we're all back, we've eaten, we've had turkey or what you guys normally have for Thanksgiving. Not sure, everyone's a little bit different. And we're back on the grind. So I do hope you guys are going to be ready for a slew of content coming your way from OP09 onward, let alone with locals content and stuff. I don't know why Jewelry Bonnie is taking so long, but we have a lot of locals games and stuff planned. Unfortunately, though, the next upcoming events are going to be pre-releases. So that's going to be, opening packs for OP09 and doing all that good stuff. I'm going to try my best to get to as many as I can. Out here in the area that I typically go out to play, they're generally full. Like, they're capped out, and it typically gets people on the waiting list. But I will try my absolute best to get as many games as I can, open a lot of packs, and hopefully pull some cool stuff. But without further ado, let's dive into this matchup here and see what we're going to be able to do against Jewelry Bonnie. And speaking of which, I'm thinking about cutting our 5-cost Spanish Nami out of Katakuri. I'm thinking about it. I need to do some more playtesting before I feel confident and comfortable with it. But I don't feel Banish Nami gets as much value here in Katakuri as it does in decks like Yamato, of course. Now, I'm thinking about maybe running 1 to 2, which we do have now. I think that's okay, because the cheeky banish here and there can be fine, but often not. If we can make use of other cards for Katakuri, and which typically does better. But I'll probably dive into that a little bit later. Like I said, I have a lot of stuff I'm planning on doing. I'm going into playing Smoker in the next video. I haven't put a Smoker video out for a very, very long time, and he is long overdue. Thankfully, he got a bunch of new stuff, and I'm very excited for him, and I think he's going to do great in the future, let alone in OP10, he gets a green and red variation, which I think a lot of people are excited for, because, you know, waifu, but each their own. Interesting. I think it was better for me not to kill the Jewelry Bonnie there and just go face. A little risky, because Jewelry Bonnie is just going to be able to find all the Supernova pieces that she needs to continue this game, but we got a lot of cards out of hand there, so I can't really complain too much. We already have all the moms that we need. And it's probably better just to go 7 here. She'll rest Pero Sparrow. We can play down the 7-cost mom. Ooh. We'll put that on bottom. So far we've seen Zoro and Captain Kid, which is really good for us. That's a lot of the top end in life that I don't have to worry about. And I'd imagine, yep, we get the heal. Okay. Cavendish can be a problem. Yep. Just because they have options to play Useless Kid and do the rest thing, swing with Cavendish, restand to Dawn. There's Rosinante. That is a scary board. Very scary board. If I guard out, she just kills it with Bonnie for 6, right? Or 5. It's not too bad. But she will just attack it with Bonnie, so let's just get rid of it. And we get nothing. The only Jewelry Bonnies we have in the deck, and they're right on top of each other. It was crazy. Shuffling in this game in a nutshell sometimes. So there's Killer. Yep. Okay, so we have Egghead, Luffy, and Nami in hand here. I think we have to kill the Rosinante. I know it sounds silly, and it's probably better just to play the Linlin here, the burn a life and the heal here. But let's go 8 first, and see what she wants to do. Leader will get rested. Alright, so we get a killer from hands. Now I was gonna say, like, that's the card that we knew that she drew. So we get the mom, we burn the life. We know the last 2, which are gonna be Useless Captain Kid for the final life, and then Zoro. So they both have no counter, and if we can remove the 8-cost kid on board, I think we're chilling. I mean, we are at 7 life, the 2 here, so we're not in any danger whatsoever. We kind of can stall the game out and just keep dropping moms if we have to. And thankfully, we do have another one in hand. Although, it's probably in their best interest. Okay, never mind, that works. I always think they're going to try to clear the 8-cost mom, or the 7-cost mom on board, but this works. Cool. We'll pop Rosinante here. This card is so good. Just for, like, these matchups like this. Any deck that's heavily into blockers, like Jewelry Bonnie, for example, Doflamingo, Egghead Luffy has got you covered. So they had the discard for the Bard effect to draw 2. Or sorry, to do the cycle, not draw 2. Let's get Nami down. We don't need the blocker right now. But let's get rid of the Luffy instead. Just in case we can save the Brûlée for later. I can't pop that. Or sorry, I can't pop that. I was thinking the kid there. As much as it probably was better for me to remove the blocker and Bart, getting rid of the attacker is our best bet. We'll pass it over. Arguably, we could have attacked with the 10-cost mom, but who's to say that they don't have a way of resting Brûlée or removing it, and then stacking all Dawn on Dofi and going into Linlin. Okay. So far, so good. So they're going into the 7-cost, yep. They have 7 Dawn open. So I don't think they'll play Hody here, but they do have access to that. Let's let it go. Yeah, we could have guarded, but having the 10-cost mom is probably more beneficial here. No attacking with leader. That's kind of wild. Let's go 12 and a kid. This should get the blocker out of the way. Cool. We either go all out here or we drop Big Mom. But what if they have another Dofi? Let's play Linlin. Just in case. Yeah, if we decided to go all in there, they drop another Doflamingo on board, they freeze everything, and we could possibly be cooked. So. Okay. 5 left. Another no counter on life over there. Which is Eustace Kid. There's Shanks. Pop's mom. Well played. And this should be game here. Because they don't have enough Dawn here to do anything else. I don't know if playing Shanks was the play, but maybe that's all they could do in this scenario. Because they need that Dawn for Kid. Maybe purposely chose not to attack with the previous Big Mom for that time. So maybe they had Shanks on that turn as well. Can't utilize this all too much. Or maybe we can. We can get a body on board, but we're not popping anything here. I guess it's better than nothing, right? I don't think we're going to be utilizing that event any other time, so. $10K, that's fine. I'll take all these hits, I don't really mind, of course. Katakuri. And well played. We burn the life, we go 12. Or actually, we have to go 12 first. Do you actually have counter for this? Oh boy. Alright. I mean, one card in hand is not really that difficult of a choice, I guess. I guess we just go 10K into Kid. Remove this. Another Big Mom. And a good game, buddy. We go 7 with Luffy. And then the rest on Nami. Imagine that was a Punk Gibson. Ah, good game, well played. I wasn't going to play again, but maybe we got lucky, right? It does happen. We do high roll a lot. We are playing yellow, so it's a possibility. 9 out of 10 it probably was, right? We probably high rolled. So we'll see how this matchup goes. They did have a lot of bricks in the early game, I think. Being able to see the Doflamingos, the Shanks, the kids, and the Zoro. Some of them being in life is kind of rough. That's a terrible search. Absolutely awful. So that tells me we had... Yeah, those are all 4 triggers. All at the bottom of the deck now. So that was 3 opportunities of popping characters on board that we no longer have now. So that sucks. So they have Cavendish. They go 5. We have to take the hit because we have no counter here. Well, no, we can play Samurai or Flame Spirit. I'm so used to saying Blaze Slice, so. There's Katakuri. We'll do the thing. Let's go 7 here. We'll put that on bottom. Just let it happen. Thank you. Play this down. I think the key to this matchup is getting as many bodies on board as possible. And being a yellow deck, we have access to so many different triggers. As long as we can have at least 2 attackers on board plus leader, it's a little bit easier to deal with Jewelry Bonnie. Alright, so they will be doing Baby 5, and then it'll be cycling with Bart. Which is so good. Yep, Trash Bonnie. Okay, so we get another Pudding. I need to find 7-cost Mom. Unfortunate. We'll take Brule. I guess we'll go 7 lead here. I don't really think it's important to kill the baby 5. I mean, she just finds Doflamingo at most. I'll keep that. Remember, we have a Veggie on the 0 cost. Or sorry, on the bottom of life. Okay. Cavendish. So there's Dofi, speaking of which. Do you go 7 lead or 7 into Pero? No. Block out. Nice. Okay. You know, this may seem a little weird. It might be a little weird. But let's play Katakuri down and we'll put Cavendish on the bottom of life here. Yeah, we could potentially swing in with 5 with Pawseplay's, play Katakuri, put Pawseplay's on top of life. We could do that. But, removing a body on board when she doesn't have much going for her right now, other than a blocker and a searcher, it might be pretty good. Sure. You know, it's probably better to swing in with Pudding there, I think. Most certainly was. Alright, so we get a Carrot on board and in Cavendish. What's the point of doing that? I should have taken the Pudding. That's my bad. Okay, another Veggie. I don't know why I keep calling him a 0 cost event. So we go 8 lead. Yep, that's totally okay. So we get 2 damage in this time with Big Mom. Another Zoro. Remember, prior to the life we just put on with Big Mom, the last life was also a 10 cost mom. So if they do 2 damage this turn, we have an opportunity of dropping another 10 cost mom next turn. Which I am totally okay with. If she lets me have another Kikanojo here, that'd be great. I mean, Pawseplay's not too bad. We'll toss the other one. Can you give me one more? Like, one more trigger? We know this is a 10 cost. We're talking about the next one. 6. I'll guard out here. I don't want to risk it. We do get the 7 cost mom, which isn't too bad. And it might be a play here, actually. We have to swing with 12k mom first before we do anything else. We have enough for Please Save Me if we decide to take 2 damage this turn. And we have enough for Brulei if we drop the 7 cost mom. I think the best bet is to go for life here. Because she can block either way, right? So I think at this point, going down the 2 life when we potentially have another Big Mom might be a little silly. So she may want to guard this. It's probably another 10 cost Dofi next turn. Oh, she has the counter in hand. Okay. Alright. I don't know if that was a correct play, but we'll take it. I guess we have to play this. We have no choice. I didn't think she would do that, so. Because our next best bet would have been dropping the 7 cost mom and then putting 3 Dawn on Pudding and swinging. So probably go 5 with Pudding and then drop 7 cost mom. But that was if she took the hit. Okay. Go 7, that's fine. Ooh. Not bad. I guess we can get rid of Luffy here. I know he's got value, but we can bring him back later. If I decide to use like the Hiyori, the plant, the Please Save Me in Life, you know what I mean? 7 lead, freezes Pero, sure. And everything else is frozen due to Dofi's effect. Another Bonnie. I think we have seen 3 Capones, right? Yeah, we've drawn all 3 Capones, and the last one is in the bottom of our life right now. Which does kind of suck. This probably isn't going to get any value here. I'd rather put the 0 cost in life with Hiyori if we have to. We'll give you the Brulee. Want to take this hit? Ooh, lucky me. Get the Luffy on board. That's just another swing. Okay. What is better here? To drop the 7 cost mom on board, remove this. I should heal here, I'd imagine. Okay, so there's a Hody Jones. Now, we could go 12, and then force the block. Go for board. If I go for Dofi, she clearly blocks this, right? There's no chance. Perhaps I should have done Luffy first, honestly. I think that was a big misplay on my part. I think we should have just popped Luffy to get rid of the Bart, and then went 12 into Dofi. Oh snap. I didn't realize she just guarded with that. That's my bad. Oh well, it happens. I can't pop any of those, that's my bad. We get to draw the card, which is okay, but still. I should have popped Luffy first to get rid of the blocker, then went 12 into the Doflamingo there. That's my fault, alright? Mistakes were made. But it's okay. Ooh. We'll put Beji here, so now we have 2 Bejis in life. Goodness. It's looking pretty good. I don't think there's any way that Bonnie can get out of next turn, so... And she has to go for game this turn. If she does have Hody, it could be a problem, but I think we're alright. Especially if they're attacking our board instead of going for life here. So we could do... What else is down here? Okay. We'll use the 1 cost event here to protect Katakuri. I'll prolong as much as I can before we have to take damage to face. If they decide to do it again, I'll guard out as well. We don't necessarily have to because we have a lot of bodies on board to go for game, but just because we can. I think I would have went for face if I was Bonnie. Because you either lose this turn or you win this turn. Going for board probably was not the correct play to do. But considering we have 2 Capones in life, there's no way she was going to be able to kill us. Even with a Hody Jones coming down. Because hypothetically we take the first hit, right? We play the Capone on the standing Dofi. Then she has Carrot and Cavendish and Leader, and then Hody Jones if she had it. That's 4 extra attackers. That's 7 down for Hody. So that's 8, potentially 7/7 with Cavendish. And then 9 with Hody Jones, 5 with lead. We play out the 1 cost event, and we guard a 7k with the Carrot or the Cavendish there. That's 2 swings left. Hody Jones comes through, and then we just go ahead and put the Beji on top of the Bonnie or the Cavendish there. And we block out the Jewelry Bonnie or Cavendish with the 0 cost event. So I think we were fine. That's if they had Hody, right? So. Another Doflamingo. Interesting. Dude, we got locked down 3 times. And still survived. That's crazy. This one we have to take. So we'll just throw Capone on top of Bonnie. Here comes the big risky play. Interesting. 3 in hand. We could lose right now, actually. We could still lose here. It really comes down to how many counters they've played so far, and we haven't seen too many. What I could do is, if we go 9k with Big Mom, right? We either go 9 with Big Mom, and they take the damage, and then they rest our Katakuri, and then go 9k with Hiyori, and then hope that's for game, or we play the Linlin in hand. If we play Linlin in hand, they might have enough counter for the 8 cost swing on Linlin. 2, 4. That's only 2 2Ks in trash. It's actually pretty spooky. Big risk. I feel like 10 cost Mom is probably the bait, right? Because it seems like the obvious play for them to have the counter for the Linlin. And I feel like they would have the counter. Because 9, 9, 2, 4. I think I'm overthinking it. I don't want to do that. I think I'm overthinking it, and I should just go 9, 9 here. Because they potentially... Yeah, they couldn't have enough counter in hand at all. So let's just go 9 here, and then go 9 with Hiyori and call it a day. I was definitely overthinking this. Because they get the 1k from Cavendish. Everything else in hand has to be a 2k counter. Directly, right? Everything has to be a 2k. To guard out for Hiyori here. Or they have to have 2 2Ks in the Cavendish to do this. Can we do it? Don't you do it. Nice. Sheesh. Yeah, that sucked, man. That was pretty good, though. It's pretty good. I guess I could have played the 10 cost Mom and just done it that way. You know? But they had 3 cards in hand and they only needed 1 block, so... Yeah. That would have been really, really risky, too. Crazy. But overall, it was a really good game. Very well played by Jewelry Bonnie. I got chained 3 times back-to-back with Dofi. It really hurt, but... Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. We're going to dive into another game, coming at you guys with Katakuri, playing into Smoker, and which I am not looking forward to. By no means. I feel like Smoker is very, very good. Rob Lucci's good, Smoker's good, but I also feel like Smoker is great. Him having the ability to drop Sengoku to trash 2, draw 3 into the removal card that he needs. I feel like he hits it almost every time with the Tashigi. So. And he does play a lot of blockers here in this matchup too. He has access to the Gecko Moria, the Rebecca, the Borsalino, and the Sabo. So that's pretty good. That is pretty good. Let's see if we can get a damage in here. The Jewelry Bonnie, we'll leave that on top. We get the damage in. Next turn, we will play down the Kikinojo. I think having her in this matchup in the early game is probably going to be our best friend. Well, there's that. The reason why this card is so good is because he can just remove everything that we have on board without popping their effects. Whereas with Rob Lucci, you know, if he drops the Lucci on board, he's killing something for the KO. Therefore, we are getting the search off the Parasparrow. We're getting the life back with Kikinojo. I think this matchup's a little bit harder for us to deal with. Because 9 out of 10, we don't have a body on board that he can't remove for free. With no drawbacks, right? So, another Sengoku. So he's gotten 3 searches off, basically. He's drawn 6 cards in 2 turns of his. There goes the other TCG. My man needs to chill. So 7. I can't really risk it, so I don't want to throw away the 0 cost event here. Thankfully, we got the Nami off life. We'll burn the Brûlée to get rid of the other Tsushigi. Again, he's seen 9 cards so far. Drawn 6 of them, by the way. Or sorry, drawn 7. Can I get the 7 cost mom? I cannot. Unlucky. She'd have been really, really good there. 7 left. I think we should go 8 with lead. Potentially 9. But then that would be 9 with lead and 6 with pudding. So let's go 8 with Katakuri. I guess I'll leave that on top. We'll go 8 here. Okay, and then we'll go 7 with pudding. So just think about it though, like we would have had another body potentially with the Paro Sparrow doing the search, right? And then Kikanojo potentially would have healed us. In this case, we got nothing. We played 2 bodies on board and we got 0 value out of them due to the fact that he just put them in trash. So, of course, very well played on his part. For me, I can't do nothing about it. I'll give you the counter. He hasn't used Marineford yet, which is interesting. He's got 2 Borsalinos in trash. He left 8 Dawn open, so this is probably going to be a Gecko Moria play to bring back a Borsalino on board. Yep. I like to say we all saw that coming, but Okay, there's the mom. A little bit too late. I needed her 1 turn before. So we play the 7 cost mom, and then he decides to take a life, right? Let's say he does take a life. If he takes a life, we lose the game, depending on what our 2 life that we have here. It's probably better for us just to drop the 10 cost mom. That way we have 3 opportunities of living versus 2. Yeah, we can get an attack in because we can don up the Katakuri and swing over the Borsalino. And then potentially put him at 1. Or put him at 0. But I think he would guard out. This way we might actually make out better here. I don't necessarily think he can go for game this turn, especially with our hand. I think he has to remove the Lin on board. I mean, this is pretty good. This is pretty good. We can get back the Nami down. And then pop the Borsalino. We can trash the Beji. I think the 0 cost event has a little bit more value here, but we have the 2k counter. But having access to play down the Hiyori to put the 0 cost event is a little bit more beneficial to us. So, remove this. So that's 2 Borsalinos in trash again. 6 lead. We'll counter out with 2k. If he's got another Moria here, we might be cooked. Because Moria is just going to get back another blocker. 9 will take the hit. I mean, we'll pop the brand new. Because he can still don up brand new here. Because he could have swung for 5 with that. And that would have forced the other 2k out of hand. So there's brand new. Okay. Get Sengoku. Alright, so he plays Gecko Moria into the Rebecca. The Rebecca takes Sengoku out of hand and plays that on board as well. Then he'll see 3 cards, get a blocker, and a big body down. Which is terrifying. It sounds awful. Like, it really sounds awful to play against that. So he saw 3. Yeah. So he sees 3 with brand new, and then he'll see 3 more with Sengoku if he decides to do it that route. But I guess he could take Moria and then get Borsalino down just for safekeepings. Because there's no way I pop him. Yeah. There's no way I pop him unless he attacks and I get a trigger. So this might have been the better way to do it. Okay, so we get Flampe. How do we get out of this? Yep. Hold on. Let's go 5 first. 12 first. Hear me out. Let's go 12 first. So either guards us or takes the hit. Okay. We go 7 here. We'll put that on bottom. Okay, alright. So far, so good. He did counter out. We'll go 7 again. I think we have to go lead here, because he'll definitely counter out for the Tashigi. He had counter as well. We'll pass turn. I don't know, man. I don't know if we can do it. This is getting spooky. He's going for game this turn. He definitely has to go for game this turn. So that's 8k. Please. Okay, 7. We have to take this hit. We have to take 3 hits, actually. I mean... It's actually not going to help us out, to be fair. Because we only have Bonnies and trash right now. Which does suck. If it was Luffy, we could potentially have played Luffy down. I guess he wouldn't have mattered either, right? Yeah. It had to have been a Nami, just to be able to draw an extra card. Alright, so we know we have the 0 cost event here. So we'll play the 0 cost, we'll trash the 0 cost to go back to another life. So now he goes... Attaches 4 down with Sengoku, swings in at me for 5. And then we get a Beji here on the Moria, and we win the game. I mean, this works too, right? Yellow doing yellow things. I am so sorry. I am so sorry, buddy. I mean, we both know I'm not, but you know, it is what it is. Yeah. It do be like that sometimes. It do be like that sometimes. How mad, though? How mad? He played well. He did. He played very, very well. He saw all of the removal he needed. He just could not counter the yellow triggers. 9k lead. And then we get a Luffy. We'll pop that. That was really good. This is probably the best game of the night. Or the day, just in general. That was really good. Well played, man. Hats off to you. Okay, never mind. We out. Yeah, that Smoker matchup was insane. Definitely was the best matchup we've had all day. And I feel like for those Enel players out there, you know, you guys have done that numerous times. I get it. But as a yellow player, to consistently be able to pull off the 0 cost into a Beji or 0 cost into a 0 cost is pretty crazy, man. It really brings out the worst in people, let's be fair. In any case, we're going to dive into another one. Coming at you guys with Katakuri, playing into Carrot. I almost said Jewelry Bonnie. Interesting. This might be one of those samurai builds with like the searches and the draw engine, so I'm not too worried about it. She does have the potential to chain Doflamingos back to back, and being able to draw into them very easily with Samurai could be a problem. She also has the ability to rest a lot of my characters. I don't know what the point of the Izo was, to be honest. I think it might have just been better to save the Izo and then go 7k to face. But okay. I do want to play this, so we'll get rid of the 2k counter here in Flampe. As long as she doesn't have a mink on board, she can't rest anything, so that's what I'll try to play around that. What we got here? I'll leave that on top. Being at 3 life, though, against this deck is not ideal. She does have access to the Nekomamushi Rush card and the Carrot as well to keep my Pawsepray frozen. So I'm going to try to be as aggressive as possible with big swings, at least until I'm able to play down Big Moms. Alright, so there's Wanda. She got... Okay, so she did draw the Carrot. That's fine. Rest this, sure. Izo swings into the Brule. Okay, or we play Electrical Luna. Alright. Probably not my choice, but we'll take it. Samurai, sure. Now we'll go 7 into Pawsepray, right? Yes? No, lead. Alright. I don't want to get the Nami here. As much as I think Nami's a good idea, just playing Nami just to pop the Wanda probably isn't ideal. Let's play the 7 cost down. We should heal here, I hope. You've got a lot of cards in hand, so I felt like they would have been safe. Let's go 2k into Wanda. If they guard out, we'll attack with Katakuri. As much as I don't want to, but they decided to guard out. We got a Carrot, though, so that's okay. I'll leave it on top, I suppose. Yeah, I don't know about that Electrical Luna. I don't get that. That seemed a little weird to me. So Otama, they're gonna play Samurai again. They get a... okay. I'll take that. For here, we know that we have the Onami coming up next. Or sorry, the Egghead Nami coming up next. Momonosuke. So that's what they took off the search. There's the Pedro blocker. They do Momo, and then they drop Samurai here. It's looking like it. No draw cards off Momo. Cool. Yep. This deck throws me for a loop sometimes. Some of these Carrot builds are like super aggressive with the stage and being able to stand things up and rest cards, which is really, really good. And then sometimes they're just like draw simulator. You know, that's just how I feel. Like if I wanted to play Perona, I would do this in Perona, not so much in Carrot. I feel like the stage variation of Carrot is a little bit just a little bit more consistent, a little bit better. If we play Nami, we pop the Pedro. But having Big Mom down is probably just the best thing that we can do. And now we just go 5 with everything. Or 5 and 5 and 8. I'll kill the Momo, actually, with Katakuri. Or attempt to. Surely you guard out here. Yep. Or run this into Momo instead. So far, so good. Go 5 lead. And then 8. This should be a damage. Okay, they decide the guard. We'll get a search off with Pero. I'll take those all day. I'll take the pudding. We we do have a second 10-cost Mom for the following turn. So if they want to Dofi me here, they freeze the 3, we play the 10-cost Mom, and then put them to 0 life. Nice. It would either have been, you know, a Kid, Doflamingo, or Shanks here that popped the Mom. That's what I would have guessed, so. I think this is probably their best play. But regardless, we're able to just put them on 0 here. There's the Shanks, and good game. Straw Sword. Huh? What was the point of that? I know I missed something. Okay, alright. I mean, yeah, that's the thing, but I don't understand the point of the Straw Sword there. Like, you could have kept those 2 Dawn and went 14 into the other Mom. And now we just go 22 and call it a day. We'll do one more game after this one. Nice. Well played. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Coming at you guys with the last game of the day, playing with Katakuri into Marco. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the rest of these games. I had a lot of fun with this one. I typically always do when it comes to playing Katakuri. Yellow decks in general are super fun to play. OP09 brings us Nico Robin, so do expect to see a lot of content from her as well as Blackbeard. But, speaking of which, in our last video we spoke about the playmat giveaway, in which I said in 24 hours there will be a winner revealed. Apparently, none of you guys like to pay very much attention to giveaways. All you had to do was hashtag playmat down in the comments of that particular video, which was the last video here you guys saw when it came to the channel update. Just say that in the comment section, be part of the Discord community, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and you had an opportunity of winning a playmat. So if you guys still want one of those, just do what I just mentioned, and we'll go about the day. But in any case, we are going to dive into this matchup here and see what we can cook up. Now, going forward, we have roughly, 12 days? Not 12 days, sorry, that's way too many. 8 days left until OP09 comes out. And I will be getting a case, and we'll probably do a case opening on the day of, actually. Because I'm going to go to a midnight release event, and I'm going to try my best. It's probably going to be like 20 degrees outside. It might snow or rain, but I'll be there. And hoping to get some magic. Because in our last box opening video, we ended up pulling like the God Pack, and you got all the manga cards, which is really cool. That's probably my hope, my luck for the rest of the year, and probably all of next year. But I'm going to try my best. We're going to open a case. I'm looking to get, of course, the leader for Teach, but we'll see. Because I feel like anytime I open something on camera, I'm never lucky. You know? So, Ace, huh? Interesting. I do like this, but he's going to feel a little upset here. We'll get the Brulee down. I will guard out this hit if he decides to attack me with Ace. Nice. We'll guard out. I don't want to take the hit. We could give him a, I guess, the 0 cost, but nah. We're going to guard out here and call it a day. Sorry, Brulee. Now, how do we deal with this? Okay, we have a way of dealing with it. And I think the best way to do this is dropping Nami first, and then we'll have to get rid of a trigger. I can't attack into it first, that's not really going to help me. So we have to remove it with Nami. And then we will trash the Luffy to do so. That way we can get Luffy back later with the Please Save Me event if we have another one in life. Or we see a Hiyori. So that goes to 4K. We'll go 7K into Ace. Put that on bottom. Thank you. Oh, wow. Hey, yo, I'll take that. All day. Let's go. Marco now has 3 cards in hand. Yes, sir. Going to 3 cards as a 4-life leader, in which you are playing against Big Mom, might be a little scary here. We'll see. Because we have Katakuri next turn to put back the Nami on top of her life if she survives here. If he doesn't have a way of removing her, this could be really, really good for us. Goes 8, goes 9 lead. I will take that hit. Thank you. Cool. I'll play this down. And we will toss the 1-cost event. I think we need the Big Moms here. So Nami is safe. We get another Nami as well. There's no point of playing Nami here to pop the ace, because he'll still be there, you know, and I can't attack into him. So let's go 5 lead first. We'll attack with both of these, and then we'll decide on what to do. Okay. We'll go 5 with Katakuri too. 2 damage in. Alright, we'll play down Katakuri. We'll put Nami on top of life. And we'll pass it up. So now he has to save Dawn for Ace to be able to swing with it. Unless he decides to attack with it first, and then Nami could trigger. If he does it that way, we could potentially do the 0-cost event and then drop the Nami or the Big Mom to protect ourselves. And then save the Nami for another turn. Actually, I think we have to toss the Big Mom with the Nami. Or sorry, we have to toss the 0-cost event with the Nami effect. Because it has to be a trigger. So we should be fine. So Katakuri is a 6-cost. He found the new gate. But he doesn't have enough Dawn to minus Katakuri here. So Katakuri is good. He can remove the Pawseplay's, which we will get off the... Okay, never mind. He's doing it this way. Alright. We'll take the pudding. No attack with Ace again. Interesting. That is a little weird, but we'll go 5. Okay, so this is guaranteed. And then we play Big Mom down to burn the life, heal up. There's another Ace. What do? You need to have blockers here to survive. We do have the means of removing 1 blocker with the Nami in hand. And then we run into the other blocker with Lin Lin. Oh, okay, never mind, we're golden. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to the end of the video, in which today we played around with Charlotte Katakuri. I had a lot of fun in today's video. I do hope you guys enjoyed this one. This is a deck list in which I will be playing around with in OP09. Of course, there will be updates to this list because we have access to Nico Robin. That's coming out in OP09, which is going to be very, very strong for all yellow decks going forward, especially in decks such as Yamato. Now, with that being said, the reason why this card is going to be really, really good is if your opponent has 3 or more life, you can trash up to one of their opponent's cards and just throw it away. So coupling this up with some of the other cards that we have access to in Charlotte Big Mom, such as Tropical Torment, could be pretty devastating. This allows you to rip life from your opponent when they're at 4. Nico Robin allows you to rip life when they're at 3. So being able to go into that curve, this in the early game, into Nico Robin, into Big Mom into the late game, that's very, very fast. And it's very doable in a lot of the yellow decks in today's format in OP09. So I do hope that we can actually do something with Tropical Torment and Nico Robin and a Katakuri build. That's what I'll be cooking up in OP09. So we'll see how that goes. Currently, this has been my Egghead list for a variation of Katakuri in OP08. This will be updated very, very soon once OP09 drops. A little bit after that, I will be focusing on other decks very, very soon here. I want to play around with Nico Robin, of course. This leader is going to be very, very fun for me. I'm very excited to be able to play another yellow deck that has access to ridiculous amount of triggers. But to have that purple splash, I haven't had this much fun with a purple variation outside of Crocodile. This has been the only purple yellow deck that has come out in recent times that was very fun to play. So I'm hoping Robin is going to have that sort of effect on me as well as a lot of other people. So we'll see. I mean, Pudding was fun too, right? Let's be fair. But seeing every single Pudding deck out there, which was generally the same outside of some of the variations that I showed you guys, I didn't really see Pudding as one of those decks that, what's the word? You know when you're learning something, right? And you learn as much as you can with it, you're not growing anymore. I kind of feel like Pudding had that kind of, that ceiling, you know what I mean? Whereas in decks like Crocodile and Nico Robin, there's so many different variations that these decks can be built, and there's so many different ways of learning different strategies and tech choices, whereas Pudding seems to ramp, play Big Mom. Ramp, play Big Mom. And I ain't wrong. It is what it is. I love the deck, but, you know. Now, with that being said, with OP09 around the corner, I also would be focusing on Blackbeard. This is going to be my main deck in OP09. I'm very excited to play around with this one. I will be playing Blackbeard, Smoker, Katakuri, and Yamato, mainly. But I also will be diving into Perona, just because this is another leader that we don't see all too much, and I do think Perona is going to be a little bit fun. So this might be a side project for me, but I will be playing around with this as well. Now, going forward, you guys will be getting a lot more content to this channel. I did mention that in our previous update video, and that's going to be sim content and locals games, let alone we will be doing a lot of box openings here with a case on release day. So make sure you stay tuned for that one. It won't be up right away, because about the time I finish ripping that case, it might be like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, to be honest. So it will probably be around like Monday or Tuesday that video will get up. But overall, I had a lot of fun today. I do hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember, smash the like button. Make sure you guys subscribe for future content when it comes to all things One Piece here on the channel. Come hop in the Discord. Come tell me I suck. It is what it is. I will catch you guys in the very next episode. The very next video. I'll see y'all later.